What we've done here, we've created a bar graph that shows the relative performance of a number of countries in the region. One of the things that's noteworthy here is how diverse the Asia region is. When we gather our experts and look at other regions, including, for example, Latin America, the former Soviet space, it's far less diverse. And I think it's one of the interesting aspects of the Asia analysis, that you have not only some of the worst performers in the Asia context, but you also have some of the worst performers on political rights and civil liberties, including the likes of North Korea, which, along with Burma, is almost on an annual basis at the very bottom of our global list, looking at more than 190 countries. On the other end, you have established institutionalized democracies, not perfect, still have their challenges, but this includes Japan, South Korea, Taiwan is also there. Also interesting are a number of countries who, for a whole host of different reasons, are middle performers and have not, in one way or another, fully consolidated their system. Thailand, for some obvious reasons, the volatility of the system, the regular coups that occur there. Pakistan, by virtue of a range of challenges. There's quite a bit of freedom in the media sphere, but they have their own challenges in terms of violent extremism and an inability to govern the entire Pakistani state, as well as countries like Nepal, Malaysia, and the Philippines, which also fall in our middle category, where they have some of the features of systems that are democratically strong, but are missing quite a few of them as well. Looking at South Asia very quickly, here there were some countries that improved for a variety of reasons. Pakistan had successful parliamentary elections, which earned them a slight improvement. Bangladesh also improved due to some changes that were deemed to be positive on the electoral laws. Bhutan and the Maldives also had elections. The Maldives distinguished themselves by having an opposition candidate and human rights leader, a dissident, come to the top spot in that country. Afghanistan suffered a decline for, among other things, insecurity, but also increase in corruption. This evaluation was done before the recent Afghan elections. In Southeast Asia, Malaysia improved slightly due to opposition gains in the elections, and there was also a notable degree of political pluralism and contestation in the election context there. Thailand, which often veers in directions in recent years, it's been one of the most volatile countries we've evaluated in political rights and civil liberties terms, also underwent a slight improvement in the last review. If we move to China, China is among the weaker performers in our analysis. Some of that is for obvious reasons. We look at issues such as authentic contestation of power in the electoral sphere, the ability of the judiciary to operate independently, the ability of civil society to operate independently in a meaningful way. China performs very poorly on those sorts of issues, and therefore ends up on the very far end of our scale in the not free category. We also noted in our findings that despite some hope and cautious optimism that there might have been improvements in the lead up to the Olympics, none of those in our evaluation have manifested themselves. And of course, in addition to that, there have been identifiable crackdowns in a host of areas, some of which have become even more evident in the current calendar year. And what we're noting here was from calendar 2008. Of course, on the other hand, we note, although it's done against great odds, that there is some pushback from society. Some of this is manifested in the desire of ordinary Chinese to have more access and openness on the internet and have less control and less interference. And you also have some very courageous people who are working in the Charter 08 context for greater acknowledgements of rights and freedom, who are fighting against enormous odds there.